He's made a lot of batsmen look foolish, but there are lots of times when he's made me look the same.
In the world of cricket, where legends are born and records are shattered, there emerged a figure, an enigma, a force of nature. He was more than just a bowler, he was an artist, a magician, and a master of deception. A man whose bowling was a symphony of destruction, an art form that rose above the boundaries of the sport. He's none other than Muttiah Muralitharan. Other than Shane Warne, Muralitharan was the only bowler who could get the ball to rip on any surface in the world, making him a freak of nature, a chaos, a contradiction, and a prodigy rolled into a phenomena. So today, we have a special treat for you as we delve into the career of one of the greatest spin bowlers to ever grace the sport, Muttiah Muralitharan. Our story begins in the picturesque town of Kandy, Sri Lanka. While studying in St. Anthony's College, Murli actually bowled fast and batted in the middle order. The cricket world will forever be indebted to school coach Sunil Fernando, who advised him to switch to off-spin at the age of 14. And from here, his extraordinary journey to stardom began. From the outset, Muralitharan's career looks to be a smooth and pleasant journey. 800 test wickets, 534 ODI wickets, both world records, and a World Cup winner. But what these statistics do not tell you is the sweat, hard work, skills, and determination that were required to eventually become one of the finest of his generation. It was Murli's lifelong bittersweet connection with Australia that played a part in kickstarting his career. In his debut match, Murli picked up just 1 wicket for 79 runs, but a batsman like Alan Border failed to read him. Muralitharan did not just bowl spin, he bowled sorcery. With a flick of his wrist, he could make the cricket ball talk like no other. Confidence levels kept rising with each match, and in his 7th outing against South Africa, he picked up 5 wickets in the innings for the first time. By the time he visited Australia in 1995-96, he was a force to reckon with. 78 wickets from 21 tests at 30.73, brimming with promise to extend his figures into the realms of folklore. However, this was the series where Murli's nightmare would start. In the second test on Boxing Day, Muralitharan was called no ball 7 times in 3 overs for throwing. 10 days later, during a World Series Cup match, Ross Emerson called Murli for throwing. The Sri Lankans were outraged, as they felt this chucking drama was unfair. But Murli faced adversity head-on, and through sheer determination, he emerged stronger. Murli agreed to go through a biomechanical analysis at the University of Western Australia and at the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. The results convinced ICC that his naturally bent elbow created the optical illusion of throwing. Many also believe this chucking controversy was created by Australians in order to derail Murli's career. But in his support, then 87-year-old Don Bradman came out. For me, this was the worst example of umpiring that I have witnessed, and against everything the game stands for. Clearly, Murli does not throw the ball. Controversy about his action dodged him right through his career. But in the latter half of the 90s, Murli blossomed into an off-spinner the like of whom the world had never seen before. In 1996, he was a key member of the Lankan side who were the underdogs that lifted the World Cup at Lahore, defeating the side with which they seldom saw eye to eye, Australia. Muralitharan finished as his nation's joint highest wicket taker with 7 scalps at an economy rate of 3.77. Then Sri Lankan captain Rantunga said, Muralitharan is an unbelievable bowler who is to be seen only once in 100 years. It was important that we had him on our side. We needed him to get wickets and he always gave us results. In 1997, Murli became the first Sri Lankan bowler to capture 100 test wickets. Yes, the first bowler from the island to capture 100 wickets. This just shows his impact and greatness. If that seems an exaggeration, please consider these numbers. The table will demonstrate that the other Sri Lankan bowlers did improve with time, but only marginally. It was Murli's 800 wickets at 22.67 and a logic-defying strike rate of 54.9 that hauled the team by the scruff of the neck and made it world-class. In the month of January in 1998, in the one-off test against England at the Oval, he established himself as an all-time great. There, the spinner picked up 16 wickets in the match, including 9 in the second innings. The only other wicket in the second innings was a run-out. It was this test that transformed Murli from a good to a great bowler. When years later he broke Shane Warne's record to become the highest wicket taker in the history of the game, Murali remarked that the Oval Test was the turning point of his career. However, Muralitharan faced a lot of criticism as it was believed that he picked a lot of cheap wickets against the weak Bangladesh and Zimbabwe teams. Still, even after removing the performances against those teams, he had 624 Test wickets at 24.87, which was still better than Shane Warne or Anil Kumble. Even the batsmen of the subcontinent fell to his guile. Pakistan struggled against him at home and in his backyard. The Indians lost 23 wickets to him in the 3 Tests of 2001. He has dismissed Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket, a record 13 times. And not many bowlers can boast of having dismissed Sachin these many times. Muralitharan was more than just a spinner. He was a conjurer of spells. His variations wreaked havoc on the batters. The doosra, the carom ball and the leg break. Each delivery was a new enchantment. And the batsmen were the helpless victims of his magic. In his 58 Tests, Murali crossed 300 wickets. And just 14 Tests later, he picked up his 400th wicket. In 2004, he went on to capture his 500th Test wicket against none other than Australia. Former Australian captain Steve Waugh showered Murali with the greatest praise any bowler can get, calling him the Don Bradman of bowling. Even the fearless Virendra Sehwag said that he was only afraid of one bowler, and that was Muralitharan. In terms of matches played, he is the fastest to 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650 and 700 wickets, and also for 750 and 800, being the only bowler to have captured that many. He has 50 or more wickets against every Test playing side. He was awarded the most man of the series awards in Test cricket with 11, most 10-firsts with 22 and most 5-firsts with 77. And personally, I believe these records will never be broken. I mean, if Shane Warne wasn't able to beat these records, then who else? His Test career came to a fairy tale conclusion in July 2010. Murali declared that the first Test match against India at Galle would be his last. And before his last Test match, Murali was at 792 wickets. Many cricketers including Sangakkara urged him to postpone his decision so that he can take 800 wickets. But Murali refused, telling Sangakkara, "I've always loved challenges. And if I'm supposed to be the best spinner, I should be able to take 8 wickets at Galle against any side." And he actually did it on the last ball of his final Test match that cemented his position as the greatest spinners of all time. As the curtains fell on Muttiah Muralitharan's illustrious career, the world stood in reverent silence. He wasn't just good, he was greatness incarnate. He wasn't just a cricketer, he was a legend. Murali, the unstoppable genius, will forever be the benchmark against which all spinners are measured. It is always not about the stats Muralitharan contributed, but the way he played the game, always with a smile on his face amidst all the controversy surrounding his bowling action. Murali took the blow on his chin, recovered and went on to put on one stellar performance after another, be it for Sri Lanka or any other team. Murali, the king of spin, will forever be remembered as a phenomena, a maestro and an icon. So guys, that's it for today's video. Please like, share and subscribe for more epic cricket stories. And remember, the legend lives on, and Muralitharan's name will forever echo through the hallowed halls of cricketing history.